He is just a beggar with no strength. But the noble army is vying for his enlistment. And his requirement for joining is not money or beautiful women, but to take himself into the dangerous post-apocalyptic world. The Legion captain is also very puzzled by this. He had just barely escaped from the outside of the tower half a day ago. What does it mean to be so anxious to go out now? But Captain Wujio is not a normal boss either. He agreed to Bai Wu's request without hesitation, just warning Bai Wu that his companion power is only at the 3rd stage of the 1st rank. After leaving the tower, make sure not to hold others back. Let Bai Wu go with you to the White Zone tomorrow as a team. Bai Wu did not heed Wujio's warning. He knows the power of his companion's spirit. It was obtained after living in the blue area for 2 hours. But he still didn't know how these color areas were divided. He directly brought up this question. For a moment, everyone was speechless, not knowing anything yet always thinking about running out. Wujio ignored Bai Wu's foolish questions and left directly to help Bai Wu with other procedures. Shuai and Yun Shu from the interrogation team had to take over the task of receiving Bai Wu. They told Bai Wu that the outside area of the tower is divided into 6 zones: white, blue, purple, gold, red, and black. It probably means the further you go, the more terrifying it gets. Afterward, they helped Bai Wu change into a different set of clothes, waiting for him to become familiar with the environment on the 1st floor of the tall tower. A moment later, everyone arrived at the leak detection port in the lower level area. But as soon as they entered the port, they were immediately drawn to a huge screen. The people wearing the uniform of the Survey Corps on the screen were auctioning off items. It was as if they would lift the shovel in their hands up into the sky. Immediately started to criticize. Let Bai Wu quickly move away from the dog's eyes and find a beautiful girl to look at. It's not bad to spray oneself. At this moment, Yun Shu on the side is full of anger. Obviously, the person on the screen is definitely not a member of the Survey Corps. He's going to turn around and find Captain Wujio to raid their lair. Shuai quickly threw the stuff prepared for Bai Wu and chased after Yun Shu. After all, the forces inside the tower were in chaos. Yun Shu couldn't be allowed to act recklessly regardless of the consequences. Bai Wu didn't seem to mind. After circling around, they stopped in front of a store called Orange Baby Depot. Half an hour later, he returned home dragging big and small bags. This was the house that Wujio helped him rent at a low price. But as soon as he entered the house, he saw the box left for him by Wujio. The various items in the box showed Wujio's thoughtfulness. In addition, there was also an informational booklet about climbing the tower. Bai Wu did not act arrogantly. He picked up the booklet seriously and gave it a read. New climbers will be equipped with emotion-detecting wristbands. An alarm will be triggered when the wearer's emotional fluctuations reach 75. All members of the investigation corps must abide by the rules. In the first instance of the wristband alarm, activate the transmission wheel. After all, sometimes people are unaware of whether they are in an emotionally out-of-control state. Having a unified data standard would reduce a lot of troubles. But this thing is completely useless to you. The eye of player expresses Bai Wu's feelings. But you are definitely interested in another thing in the box.
Non suppressive emotional sedative.
When close enough to the fallen. And the dial indicates that this substance can be injected when about to enter a dangerous area. It will momentarily put people in a calm state, lasting about 5 minutes. After the inhibitory effect wears off, emotions will enter an excited state. Any negative emotions will be amplified. Avoid using it unless absolutely necessary. Is this the principle of emotional spring? Bai Wu picked one up and pricked himself with a needle. Then he quietly counted the numbers, waiting for the emotional rebound after 5 minutes. He hasn't felt emotions like sadness or fear for a long time. 300 seconds passed in a flash. When it's time, Bai Wu recalls some past experiences. Still, there is no touch of emotion. Wujio won't joke about those fakes. But now, he indeed feels not a bit of excitement. He even feels like sleeping a bit. Well, there shouldn't have been any expectations in the first place.